It's probably been a couple of months since I covered Hanceville Police Department and the corruption that led to several. A federal grand jury said this police department is so corrupt it needs to be disbanded. I covered that story. Well, they, the city decided, well, we're going to fire everybody and we're going to try to rebuild. Okay, that probably settles everything. But the latest thing that has come out, and I'm going to do two clips here, plus at the end of the video, I'm going to have a link to my previous video if you want to see the insanity that led to, it was like 5 police officers and the wife of one of the police officers getting arrested, which led to them saying that this all came from an investigation of a dispatcher that got taken out. Those people were arrested. The police department was doing weird things with the evidence locker. And yeah, this has now led to 58 cases dismissed because these were felonies. So I'm going to show you all of this. And oh my God, is it weird? So here we go. Let's let you catch up on the latest of the Hanceville PD drama.
Howdy y'all, this is Paul, the Redneck Thinker. What we have here is a channel to communicate. I want you folks to be thinking by the time you leave my videos. Why? Because I'm tired of people talking via what other people tell them to think. So, watch my video and enjoy the chance to think for yourself.
All right, well, results from an audit of the Hanceville Police Department's evidence room were released today, just hours before a special city council meeting to discuss the future of law enforcement in the city.
The police chief, 4 officers, and 1 spouse of an officer were recently indicted on several charges. Cullman County District Attorney Champ Crocker released the findings of that audit today. States more than 216 grams of meth were missing from the evidence room, and investigators believe even more drugs could be missing. There were also about 30 undocumented firearms in the evidence room. And Champ Crocker notes in a letter to the Hanceville Mayor, Jim Sawyer, that after the overdose death of dispatcher Chris Willingham, Hanceville's police chief did not request state police assistance despite being asked to do so. Crocker also claims that the Department of Public Health data shows Hanceville with the highest per capita overdose EMS calls in the state of Alabama. In breaking news tonight, Hanceville City Council choosing to suspend the police department for now and start looking for a new chief.
Yeah, your reporter Lauren Harkson attending tonight's meeting. She joins us live from Hanceville. And Lauren, what happens now?
Well, Steve, Brittany, now that the city council has officially decided to rebuild the police department, I'm told work on finding a new police chief begins now. City Councilor Kenneth Cornelius tells me already dozens of people from around the country have submitted their resumes or recommendations about who should take over leading the department and starting this new era. Cornelius says they will begin establishing a hiring committee right away, which will consist of 2 city councilors, 1 Hanceville resident, and 2 law enforcement officials, one of whom may be Cullman County Sheriff Matt Gentry. For now, the sheriff's office will continue patrolling the city for the time being. Sheriff Gentry shared his deputies are working in Hanceville 24/7 right now, which costs the sheriff's office about $25,000 a month in overtime. A big point of contention tonight was whether or not to continue paying the 12 employees currently on administrative leave who had nothing to do with the indictment. The sheriff offered to help make that decision a little bit easier.
I made the offer to push down any kind of payment for our services down the road a month or whatever it takes so they can continue to pay those employees until they decide on hiring a new chief.
Someone of integrity, someone of vast experience, someone that can come in and give us the ability to oversee what we had and do any changes we need to do to actually come in and do what's best for Hanceville and for the citizens and get that protection.
Now, some people were calling for the city council to also be abolished tonight. Councilors sharing the election is coming up this August. For now, your reporter live tonight in Hanceville, Lauren Harkson, WBRC 6 News.
We do have an update on a story that we broke earlier at 5 o'clock out of Hanceville. The Coleman County District Attorney announcing late this afternoon that dozens of cases from Hanceville are being dismissed. The February indictments of 5 Hanceville police officers, including the chief, continue to reverberate through the Coleman County justice system tonight. The same grand jury that issued those indictments has also found 58 cases investigated by those officers have to be dismissed. The DA says the illegal actions of the former officers included mishandling of evidence. 5 officers and one of their spouses were indicted on several charges, including evidence tampering and ethics and drug charges, after an investigation into the death of a former Hanceville dispatcher. You can read much more about this story on WHNT.com right now.
So, what would you think if you were the victim of the crimes that these people were arrested for? Now, mind you, if there were victims. Because 58 felony criminal cases, I'm assuming that there were some victims. Now, I'm going to tell you this real quick. Okay, audit found that nearly 40% of all 650 evidence bags and almost a third of all firearms weren't documented before being stored in the evidence room. Wide array of evidence that appeared to be missing, including firearms, cash, and illicit drugs. If it was drugs being used for personal use, and I know people are going to disagree with me on this, but, you know, because it's Alabama, you know that they're cracking down on weed use. But the cash and firearms, that's disturbing. So there are most likely victims that are not going to get their day in court. They're not going to get justice because this police department, we're idiots. From the top down, this police department, we're idiots. Oh, Lord. So tell me what you think. Seriously. I'm spouting. I want to hear what you think about these corrupt cops that led to all of this. This has been Paul, the Redneck Thinker. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. So, folks, that's the story that I wanted to bring you on this video. And I just wanted to say thank you again for coming by. Hit like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff if you don't mind. Help me out. So, y'all have a good day now. Bye.